everyone. My group topic is the friction in nursing. Okay, let me start. In physics, friction is defined as the resistive force that occurs when two surfaces slide or try to slide over each other. It acts opposite to the direction of the motion and depends on the texture and contact pressure of the materials. We experience it daily, from walking without sleeping to holding a pen or moving a chair. Without friction, many basic actions would be impossible. However, too much friction can cause heat, wear, or surface damage. In nursing, this physical principle is closely connected to human care. Here, friction describes the mechanical resistance between the patient's skin and other surfaces, such as bed linens, clothing, or a wheelchair seat. The skin, unlike metal or rubber, is a weak biological surface. When it is repeatedly dragged or rubbed, the outer layers of our skin can wear away, which leads to redness or even tissue injury. In daily care, friction occurs in quiet moments, like when a nurse repositions a patient, assists with dressing, or smooths sheets. These small actions can either protect or harm the skin. So, gentle and mindful movement is the key to safety, right? With careful lifting and cleanliness, nurses not only prevent skin damage, but also maintain each patient's comfort and dignity.
Now I will explain about static and kinetic friction. Static friction is the friction force that acts when an object is not yet moving, while kinetic friction is the friction force that acts on an object that is already moving. Because static friction acts on a stationary object, based on Newton's first law, the magnitude of static friction must be equal to the external force acting on that object, so that the sum of forces equals 0. Thus, it can be concluded that the value of static friction depends on an external force and is not constant. As for kinetic friction, its value is relatively constant and is usually smaller than the maximum static friction. To fulfill these conditions, the static and kinetic friction forces are mathematically written as follows. First, static friction is less than or equal to the static friction coefficient multiplied by the normal force. And second, kinetic friction is equal to the kinetic friction coefficient multiplied by the normal force.
Types of friction. 1 is sliding, 2 is static, 3 is rolling, and 4 is fluid. For rolling, friction is change in shape at the point of rolling contact. For the fluid, friction is a pass of the motion of an object through fluid. Increase the speed of the object moving through the fluid. So the fluid is gas and liquid.
In nursing, friction is very important when using a wheelchair. Friction means the force that happens when two surfaces rub against each other, like the wheelchair wheels and the floor. Friction helps the wheelchair move safely. Without friction, the wheels would slip and the nurse could lose control. The rubber tires create friction with the floor to stop the child from sliding. Friction helps the wheelchair move safely, but nurses must control it. The right amount of friction keeps both the patients and the nurse safe. That's how science works in nursing care.